Let's talk about the pros and cons of tall fescue. There's a lot of you out there who love having a 4-inch yard, something like that. Stands up nice and tall, and when you have the density looking good, it definitely is a standout lawn. If you're looking for that cut, this would be the grass type that I would recommend to you. It's not that other grass types can't go up to here. I think that tall fescue would be the best option if you want a taller cut yard. This is going to typically be the most drought tolerant of the cool season grasses. What's good about tall fescue, it puts down really deep roots into the ground. This helps it to withstand drought. It helps it to stay green when other grasses might want to go dormant and brown. Newer varieties of tall fescue have much better texture. So in the past, I think it maybe wasn't quite as popular in certain areas, especially up here in the north. It wasn't as comparable to Kentucky bluegrass as far as the texture goes, but as things have changed over the years and better cultivars come out, this has changed to where it still has a wider blade look, but there's a lot of varieties that have a much thinner blade too. And if you're looking at an elite option of this, you're going to be pretty happy with the texture, I think. It still shows that it's a tall fescue, but it's much better than the past. You can have great color out of tall fescue, especially all of these elite varieties. They've done really well with this, and on a taller cut yard, you're going to get some extra color out of it compared to something that's mowed super low. But if you're looking for a great color, this will have it. It also stripes very well. That has to do with a taller cut in general. Most of the time when you have more leaf blade there, you're bending that over and letting the light reflect off of it, you're going to get a great stripe, but tall fescue definitely stripes very well. Tall fescue will also be something that can do fairly well in shade. If you're looking for an option that maybe has some sunnier areas that you want to make sure that you can get a grass type that can withstand those, but also some shadier areas that you want to try to blend together and not have different grass types in there, tall fescue would probably be the option for you. Some of the cons of tall fescue, I would say the texture, although it is much better than it used to be, still is not quite like bluegrass or ryegrass or even fine fescue in terms of how soft it is. Some people won't mind this, but just know it's not going to be quite as soft as some of those other grass types. Fungus can also be an issue with tall fescue, especially in environments like here in the Midwest, or as you go into the transition zone where tall fescue is typically better because you're going after something that can withstand the heat of summer. But what comes with that is usually a humid climate, and you're going to be looking at some things on tall fescue like brown patch, different funguses that can also be very damaging to tall fescues. I would say it's best to be really dialed in on your program and irrigation, but also maybe think about some fungicides to prevent some of these issues on tall fescue. Although I've been testing tall fescue this year down to 3/4 of an inch, and it seems to be doing fine. In general, most people would say reel mowing tall fescue is not as easy, so if you're wanting to do reel mowing, it's probably not the best grass type for you. Although I'm doing it here and it's surviving, the texture is not quite as good as ryegrass or bluegrass as far as that reel mowed look. So whenever somebody emails me and says I really want to get into reel mowing, it's something that I probably would steer them away from just because they're going to get a better look out of those other grasses. What my main goal has been to provide this information to you, but also provide you with elite seed so that you don't need to go searching high and low for which ones of these cultivars are going to look good, have drought tolerance, fungus tolerance, all those things. I've compiled those in my elite brand seed here so that all of that is done for you, and I really appreciate all your support over the last couple seasons since I launched this grass seed. We have all of the types that you need: ryegrass, bluegrass, tall fescue, and the shade blend as well. So go ahead and check that out if you would. I really appreciate your support on the grass seed. We've had so many happy customers with it, and I would love for you to be one of those as well. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.